So the hearing for the Energy Efficient Wildfire Rebuilding Incentive Program will begin in a few minutes. In a moment, we will introduce staff from the Oregon Department of Energy and ask participants to introduce themselves in the chat and state whether they wish to offer comments during the hearing. We don't have anybody on the phone, so we will also offer the opportunity for attendees to ask clarifying and procedural questions after taking testimony as well. So my name is James Kogel from the Oregon Department of Energy, and I'll be the hearing officer for today's proceedings. I want to thank you for participating today. As staff introduce themselves, we have one participant on the line, and Cass, thank you for introducing yourself already. If you would like to offer comments later in, you would like to offer comments, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And now I can introduce the rest of the Odo staff on the call. So I'll start with Doug, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Hello, my name is Doug Baer. I'm the Senior Incentives Analyst working in the program.
Thank you. Christy?
Hi there, Christy Split. I'm our Government Relations Coordinator, but also do community work on behalf of the agency.
Thanks. And Pandian?
Hi, my name is Pandian Krishnaswamy. I manage the incentive programs at Oregon Department of Energy.
And Patricia?
I'm Patricia Phillips. I'm here to help with the webinar. Let me know if you have any questions through the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. And so we'll start with a brief summary of the proposed rule amendments before discussing the procedures for the hearing and then entering the testimony stage of the hearing. Materials for today's hearing, including draft rules, are located on the Oregon Department of Energy's website, oregon.gov/energy. So just a few quick words about using WebEx. If you're new to the platform, you can use the raise hand function to ask a question and use the chat function to type in questions. And if there are any questions before we begin, I'm happy to answer them. So this hearing is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. Today is May 18th, 2023. The time is approximately 4:08. The public hearing is being held online and all attendees are participating remotely. This is the time and date set for a public rulemaking hearing. The purpose is to take public comments on proposed permanent rules amendments, which would extend the application and completion notice submission deadlines for the Energy Efficient Wildfire Rebuilding Incentive Program. The amendments would also update the heat pump efficiency requirements to include new efficiency requirements for heat pumps manufactured after the start of this year. Now I'll provide more details on these shortly. The filing caption for this rulemaking is Energy Efficient Wildfire Rebuilding Incentive Program Amendment. So Oregon House Bill 5006 from the 2021 legislative session established a program for incentivizing energy efficient rebuilding following the 2020 Labor Day wildfires. The bill appropriated $10.8 million for the program. The Oregon Department of Energy filed permanent rules in March 2022. The Oregon Department of Energy has requested the Oregon legislature to be able to continue to use those funds through the 2023-2025 biennium. Should this be approved, the application deadline in the current rules will need to be extended. ODA provided notice of these proposed rule amendments to avoid disruption in accepting applications. However, ODA will adopt the rules only upon receipt of legislative authorization. As mentioned, the amendments would extend the application deadline and also the deadline by which the completion notice for rebuilding the structure would need to be submitted. The application deadline is proposed to be extended to June 1st, 2025, and notification of the project being complete would need to be received by June 30th, 2025. A further amendment is being proposed to the rules, and so specifically, the testing procedures for HVAC systems have been updated, and new procedures for heating efficiency and cooling efficiency have been developed in the US and are now in use. This means newly manufactured heat pumps are being labeled with updated heating and cooling efficiency terms. These are in HSPF 2 and SIR 2, as opposed to the older terms HSPF and SIR. The proposed change to the heat pump efficiency requirements include the new rating terms on newly manufactured heat pumps while retaining the same efficiency requirements for those heat pumps manufactured prior to when the new terms came into effect at the start of the year. You all know that these numbers are not the same in the rule. This is due to differences in the testing procedure. So the Oregon Department of Energy appreciates the information and feedback that stakeholders have provided through the rulemaking process. Notice for today's hearing was filed with the Oregon Secretary of State on April 11th, 2023, and published in the May 2023 Oregon Bulletin, which is published monthly. This hearing will be conducted according to the Oregon Administrative Procedures Act, ORS Chapter 183, and the Attorney General's Model Rules. In addition to the opportunity to present oral comments this hearing, anyone may submit written comments in by email or mail until 5 p.m. May 22nd, 2023, which is the close of the public comment period for everyone. Comments received after this date will not be reviewed or considered by the department unless the department decides to extend the public comment period for everyone. After the close of the comment period, the Oregon Department of Energy will review issues raised during the public comment period and prepare a hearing officer's report. The Oregon Department of Energy will make the ultimate decision regarding these rules. If anyone has joined since the beginning and hasn't introduced themselves, I would like to ask you to please state your name, affiliated organization, and whether you wish to offer comments. Then we will move into the testimony from participants. So this hearing is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. Before beginning your testimony, I just want to remind you to please state your name and affiliation with an organization, if any, for the record. And if you have any written statements, please email them so that may be made part of the record. Any questions before we begin with the comments? Okay. So we will begin the public comment section now. And we'll start with Cass. Patricia, if you can, thank you very much. Cass, you should be unmuted now.
I see, that was what that noise was. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm Cass Cornwell with Firebrand Resiliency Collective. I'm a zone captain. I'm also a fire survivor and a board member with the LTRG. I wanted to come today to express how vitally important it is to extend the deadline for this incentive. I was trying to find I have extensive spreadsheets on the recovery of manufactured home parks, and that alone tells me that very few people have been able to rebuild in time to take advantage of this incentive. And there's been a hiccup in resources to be able to help people replace their homes that hopefully will pick up again when the HARP program releases. We've been kind of in a limbo state since the WRRA funds dried up to be able to help people replace their homes. And again, I was trying to find my data, but it's just very few of the over 1,500 manufactured homes that were destroyed. Oh gosh, I guess I have to stretch my screen a little bigger. Sorry, everyone. Only 244 or so have been replaced. I'm not done with all 20 spreadsheets. I've got 3 to go, but from the data I've collected so far, there's not a whole lot more coming because most of the spreadsheets I have left are from parks that don't have anybody coming back yet. So it's pretty safe to say that less than 300 of the over 1,500 manufactured homes have been replaced to date. And yeah, that alone tells me how vitally important it is to extend the deadline of this incentive. I'm not really sure what else to say to punch that home, but and hi Doug, nice to see you. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, I have a lot of data.
That's great. I appreciate you coming today to provide that feedback. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Cass, I think we can move.
I'm trying to think of something. That I think pretty much says it all. We have numbers on the county dashboard about how many building permits have been issued for site-built homes as well. And again, I would say we might be approaching a third of the way there with the site-built homes, but it's still way behind as far as people who will still need to use this incentive.
Okay, appreciate it. I see you put your email address in the chat, and that sort of data would be great to take a look at as well. So I can follow up with Doug and the team and see if we can reach out to kind of get a snippet of your data to kind of take a look at.
You bet. Yeah, the Firebrand Resiliency Collective GIS team has a recovery dashboard that they've been tracking all of the site-built information on, and then I feed them the information for the manufactured home parks.
Okay.
So I'll talk to my team once I get that email to respond to.
Maybe more familiar.
Yeah, give a better picture of the whole thing. And I'm really glad I showed up since it doesn't seem like anybody else did. So I as a fire survivor myself, I feel this is really important to represent the voices of other fire survivors.
Yeah, appreciate you coming along today. Thank you. With that, again, thank you for joining. And as a reminder, written testimony will be accepted until 5 p.m. May 22nd, 2023. And so, yeah, no other comments or exhibits will be accepted after this date unless the department decides to extend the public comment period for everyone. After the close of the comment period, the department will review all comments and summarize those comments in the hearing officer's report. And now we'll also kind of add in some of the written comments we've received.
Sorry. Should I have mentioned I'm representing Jackson County?
Oh, that's great. I appreciate you adding that in as well. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And the Oregon Department of Energy will make the ultimate decision regarding the rules. But as again, I just kind of reminder, we're only able to kind of extend the deadline if the legislature provides the authority to kind of do so. Before we conclude, I can answer any rulemaking process questions as well, or any additional questions. So if you have any, Cass.
I can't think of any. Thank you.
No, it's okay. So the time is 4:20. And thank you for coming and providing comments. This concludes the public hearing.
Wonderful. Thank you, James.
No problem. Thank you.